You can say that.
Yeah, because I mean, like, why do we play? That's not a small question. Um,
It is not. It is
yeah.
not. And I think I'm starting to realize that I was just playing for approval, uh, and I'm starting to play for myself, my own, not necessarily even approval, just, my own sake.
What does that mean? Your own sake.
What does it mean? Uh, Playing because it is what I want to do. So, you know,
Okay.
coming to peace with that, I don't need to play if I don't feel like it. I don't need to, I don't have to force myself to do anything. Uh, you know, I am
Yeah.
playing it because I enjoy the game.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we don't do anything for 10 years if we don't love it, so I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Um, with that in mind, I think that it would be very silly of me to try to like, throw out the topic for today.
Yeah.
What do you want to work on? What do you want to do?
Well, what I've noticed, digging deeper into this inner game of tennis, observation, letting the letting the body take control, has led to me being able to observe the other player way better.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I was playing versus Whittle
Mm-hmm.
in friendlies, and I noticed that like I was trying to drill him and it wasn't working at low percent. And then I noticed that he was just doing low float cancel aerial uh, to try to get down smash. I I started looking because I versus Peach. I started looking for the early down smash to get my opening.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but he was never down smashing, and he was always low aerialing. And once it connected, then he would down smash. And stuff like that, I feel like I wouldn't notice, at least not as fast, that he was just, there was a pattern of play there.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's it's a good thing. But I also noticed that as I said, my habits, my roll habits, falling down with aerials, stuff like that, when I wasn't consciously thinking about these things, they were a huge problem.
Hmm. Okay.
So I think habits is something I've never really worked on. It's something that I've tried to like think about during games, but never with any sort of structure.
Yeah, so let's talk about habits for a second. What would you say is a habit that you have? What's a habit of yours that you have that you would say that you want to see, like, that stood out to you as something like, it was like a problem habit? Like, what was one that like really kind of made you go, ugh, not that?
There's there's two big ones.
Sure.
One is falling down with aerials.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and the other one is rolling in um panic situations.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
both of these I've had for a long time, especially the tech roll in one. It's just some people have been beating me off that for many years.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me because I
No.
find that like usually when players are really in their own head, yeah, there's usually a comfort tech that people have that they just start spamming when they're under pressure. So
Yeah.
tech roll in is one of them. The other one that I find that comes up a lot is Tekken's place. Tekken's
Yeah, I
place
do
because they
tech
just
in place a lot as well versus especially versus like tech chase characters. Uh, you know, trying to test Sheiks and Falcons.
yeah. So, if you wanted to work on those two, let's work backwards on this. So, what are
Mhm.
some of the situations that you find, like, what are some of the moves you get hit by when you tech roll in? Like, what are some of the common situations that you'd say that
Cheek
comes
up smash
Sheik up
for
smash? Okay.
sure. Falcon knee and or stomp.
Okay.
Uh, and Marth grab as
Okay.
like main ones.
Cool. So when we get grabbed, we then get thrown.
Mhm.
We then get up smashed or kneed or just hit the floor and have to tech. And then we tech
Yep.
roll in. That's basically what happens, right?
Yep.
So what would you like to do in that spot instead?
It depends.
Yeah, but we're in the planning phase. We don't have to get it
We are
right
in the
yet.
planning phase. So, I mean, in the situation where Sheik is, this situation, she would be reading tech roll in. You can take in
Mm-hmm.
place. Um,
What does that
Same with
usually
the
look
other one.
like?
And Marth isn't reading usually with the grab though. Uh,
Yeah, we can.
or it can be read.
We'll exclude Marth because I think that
Yeah.
like with Marth, it doesn't really like he doesn't really get a whole lot more off of a read on a tech roll in, whether he reads it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like if he, what's he gonna read that with? What his like RT like down air grab instead of a normal grab? Like we're talking
Yeah.
about he gets an extra 13, which is like annoying, but not really the end of the world. The other two though can straight up kill us. So I think that those two should be prioritized a little differently. That makes sense to me. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
think that's very different from a Falcon like getting his entire setup of like him reading tech roll in with like getting stomp knee at 60 or something like that.
Or like octuple knee, because he just reads it
Yeah.
at like
Yeah, just
18. Yeah.
kneeing.
Yeah. I would agree with that for sure. So, what's something we can do instead? What is the most effective defense we can do against against them reading knee roll in knee like roll in, like tech roll in or up or
Mhm.
like with as Sheik or Falcon. What is the most effective thing we can do with our tech?
I'd say there are two answers to me. The least risky option is tech out, of course. I'd
Okay.
say. Um, like for example, with Falcon, if you read the tech roll in certain scenarios, you can still like try to get a read with uh like just dash and grab, right? If I shield, for example,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So tech roll out means if they commit to reading tech roll in, they can't punish me. I'm safe. I'm out of the combo.
Okay, that makes
Uh,
sense.
in most scenarios, of course, if it's in the corner, it's different. But and that's also often where Falcon will catch me for tech rolling in. Uh, because it's if you tech roll out when you're by ledge, you just become a stationary target for knee. So I think but the tech in place against both characters it's more risky, but it gives you a lot more leeway to punish. You can actually try to punish, which I don't think you can on tech roll out generally.
Yeah, so let's think about so if we tech in place and they read the tech roll back, and
Mhm.
they knee that spot, what usually happens afterwards?
Usually, if they don't hit it,
Yeah.
yeah. Usually they try to aerial tech in place or they return to neutral.
Okay.
Aerial or grab tech in place or return to neutral is my generally what I feel.
Okay. So and I can see how that would be like a scary option. How that would be scary because like the things we want to do against Captain Falcon's aerials are generally different than the things we do against his grab, from like that kind of position. So fair enough.
Mhm.
Because on his grab we want to shine, we want to spot dodge. On his aerials we
Yeah.
want to put out attacks. So can totally see how that would be weird. Um, so maybe a way to distinguish it is if we have the time if we have like the space to tech roll,
Uh-huh.
like tech roll away from him, and have the tech roll actually move us a bit, then we do the tech roll away as the default.
Yeah.
Like we tech roll away in that spot a little bit more.
Hmm.
Like we recognize that we got thrown, we roll in here a lot. Let's tech roll away, as an alternative, and then for if we do, if there's no difference, or if there isn't as much difference between tech rolling away versus tech rolling versus teching in place, maybe then we tech in place because we're gonna have to like, if the tech roll away gets eaten by the ledge anyway, or like a stage surface, then it doesn't. It's basically the same thing as teching in place, except it's laggier. So maybe that can be a way that we distinguish it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Kinda. Can you elaborate a bit more?
Sure. Let me show you. Let me just kind of give you like a sense of like what I'm saying. I'm just gonna make something real quick, and you'll kind of get what I mean. I'll share my screen. So, if we have this lovely incomplete depiction of a stage, and we are, that should be a box. Okay. So this is our lovely stage from here to here. What I'm saying here is, if we're fighting Doug, and he's like throwing us here, and he's here, right? So he's facing this way, and he down throws us, and we're Fox. If we tech here, our tech roll has all of this room for its tech roll to be expressed.
Mm-hmm.
So if we tech roll here and here, and then this would be the tech roll forward from here to here. So then what we have is we have 1, 2, 3 in terms of distinct spots where this can finish. Are you with me so far?
Yep.
So what I'm saying here is, let's say we shift everything over a bit. So instead of Doug grabbing us here, he grabs us, say, here.
Ooh.
So you see what I'm getting at, right? Like,
Yeah.
if we tech in place here, our roll only puts us here, but costs plus 14 frames.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah, so like
really
what we have,
bad.
right? So then we have, our system becomes this, right? Because we have then 1, 2, 3. So what I'm saying is that because 1 and 2 are basically the same here, and are covered by like, our 1 and 2 are basically the same here in the context of him covering like this, covering this option. Right, because if he misses here, then he can still basically, like, this going from here to here really isn't that much of a stretch.
Yeah.
Whereas if he misses here, going from here to here is a bit of is like a full tech roll, right? So it's a much bigger commitment. So this is all I'm saying. I'm saying that, like, if we're in this kind of situation, like this one, then it makes sense to tech roll away.
Yeah.
But in this one, maybe it makes sense to tech in place as the mix up to the tech roll. Does that make sense? Okay. I mean, do you disagree?
That does make sense. No. I think that's basically what I tried to get at with the two answers thing that I was explaining. That if you're in the corner, then, or if you're in the corner with tech roll, then that's scary. You're just stuck there.
Yeah.
Target.
One other thing I might want us to consider is missed tech.
Oh yeah.
Because with missed tech, we can kind of set ourselves up to be one down throw, like, away from the edge, right? Or like one throw away from the edge. Like, basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to get his down throw or up throw to put us, like, here.
Slide off.
Yeah, so that can be another way to do it. Because, like, we can just go there and then, like, you know, get up attacker stand. Like, probably stand to force the RTC grab. And then all of a sudden we're out a lot of the time, right? So that can be another consideration. So really, we have like kind of like we have like three options here. We have like this point we want to like tech and like in this kind of spot we want to tech in place. A little bit over here, like we might want to like miss tech, and then over here we might want to like tech roll. So we have like three different options. Like we have like different options depending on how close we are to the edge. Do you think, how on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable do you think you'd be implementing something like that?
Versus Falcon specifically, pretty comfortable. As a general framework, not as much. I haven't really thought of tech roles like as a thing you have a solution to, except for like very certain scenarios, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Marth down throw, for example. Like if he is a certain part away from the stage, you have to like tech roll out uh so you can get into the corner and he can't directly punish you. Or else he will just keep grabbing you, for example. Or tech rolling away from Peach, for example, because she often can't reach you. Uh
Yeah.
but other than that, tech rolling is something I do like I something I've tried to randomize, say, kind of like what I was doing with the AI, where it's just like I try to just mix it up, but obviously it doesn't work that well.
Sure. So why don't today we focus on defense and we use a little bit more intention with our tech rolls. So what I'm thinking makes sense here is the way that we like frame it is question 1. Does our tech roll? No, does the what tech roll puts us as far? No, what tech roll puts us as far away from? What tech roll gives us puts the most distance between us and the opponent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gives most distance. So the reason I'm asking this is because like think about RTC options, right? What do
Yep.
people usually tech roll no punish tech rolls with?
In RTCs,
Yeah, because that's usually what
depends
people
on the
are.
character. Well, I'd say
I mean, like there's
grab, aerial, tilt, right? Like in that order.
on tech roll.
On tech roll, depends.
Because I mean, like I could see what you're like. I would agree with you on like I would agree with you on tech in place, but like on tech roll,
Yeah, I guess.
because like if somebody's landing here and if somebody's throwing us here and then we land over here,
Mhm.
right? Usually, what does the other person usually do with an RTC? They like kind of line themselves up around like here, somewhere around
Yeah,
here, to like be able to like tilt or aerial or grab like this option, which I agree with.
yeah.
That all makes sense. Or
Mhm.
they might even cover it proactively if they're efficient enough. But then for the tech roll this way, what do they usually have to do?
I mean, with Sheik, it's boost grab. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
with Falcon, or boost grab or dash attack with Sheik,
Yeah.
because that's exclusive to her generally.
Well, Peach can
I know
also do.
Marth, well, Peach and Marth sometimes,
Yeah, like
but
the dash attack, like foxes
yeah,
sometimes do it. It's not great, but they sometimes do it. Like
yeah,
it's an
it's not
option.
that's not great, but yeah, they sometimes do it. And I'd say aerial for sure.
Which aerial?
Like an overshot knee, for example, if you're Falcon,
I feel like that's
tech chasing
not.
a target.
I feel like that's not usually an RTC though. Like to hit
Yeah.
here from here, like with a knee, with its
I
like.
know you can, and there are some players that do it, but I know most players won't.
I'll include it knee asterisk.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, I mean, Falcon Nair maybe is more like it's easier to throw out there, but yeah, I guess it wouldn't really be an RTC at that point,
Yeah, it's because now we're.
unless you're actually like a top player.
I don't even think top players do it. I think a lot of times it's just coverage. Because like
Yeah.
this to me is just coverage. Because like
Yeah.
usually,
Okay.
yeah.
So grab and dash attack then. I don't think there's much else people do to actually RTC cover tech roll away.
I think you could say some nairs. I think you were right about some nairs. I think
Yeah.
that you could make the case for shines in some cases.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, well definitely, yeah. Like double shine. When Falco's tech roll into corner, I always try to double shine him so you get the shine push off and they
Yeah.
just explode.
I would also say like like basically like something that you can like wave dash tilt. I think you could make a case for, but like
I mean, I've seen Marth's way dash down tail, like tech roll away for sure.
yeah. So I think that there are things that work, but like what what I'm trying to get at here is that there's like a restriction with RTCs about how efficient the tool is.
Yeah.
Because you can't just RTC with like Ganon Fair. Like it doesn't like
No.
you can't just RTC with Peach Fair or a Peach like down tilt because it's just too slow. There's a certain frame window and speed window in terms of moving you into the spot you need to be in order for something to be like a viable RTC option. So what I'm getting at here is tech roll away is really valuable because it gives you like the most distance from your opponent in a lot of cases. Like tech rolling in general forces the opponent into RTCs, which means that like they're no longer like unless they're willing to take a gamble, and if they're gambling then you're happy anyway because then they're not like just following up on you for free every time. Like it's a double-edged sword. Like on the one hand, they might just arbitrarily kill you. On the other hand, they are less likely in the long run to arbitrarily kill you because they are guessing. So in this regard, tech roll is actually really important because what it does is it forces them into this like reaction window where they're like kind of restricted to these kinds of options. They don't really have like a say in whether or not they can like, and because it's mechanical, they don't really have like a choice in whether or not they're like able to do it or not. They just have to they just have to like kind of suck up this restriction one way or another. So with that in mind, can you think of like any reason, like generally speaking, we can kind of agree that grab is like the main thing that people RTC with, right?
Yep.
Like that's the big one?
Yeah, definitely.
So let's make our stage a little bit more complicated. Let's make it into Battlefield instead of FD. So with that in mind, as we create our more complicated stage layout, can you see any reasons why somebody might tech roll, might want to force someone into tech chasing with, say, shines or up smashes? Like up smash is one we missed, but like shines, up smashes, or grabs if they're going into this kind of spot as their end spot.
Because the platform follow-ups are way easier generally. Like
Way easier to do what? Escape or
way
like do?
easier for the opponent to not mess up is what I like. Or do you mean they're forcing me into?
So I mean the opponent's the attacker. So you're the one who's moving here.
Yep.
So like
I'm tech rolling away as to not get thrown to the platform.
okay. And the platform offers certain luxuries too. Like you can tech roll
Slide off.
Like you have the option to slide off, like you have various trajectory edge cancels. And the cool thing here about this kind of spot here, like specifically in this area, is if you're shined, you also have the option to get pushed onto the edge too. So this kind of spot offers a lot of defensive defensive power to it. Like really, really like there's a lot going on here. It gets even like crazier when we start to include the top platform too, because if we include the top platform, at some point, we're going to get up here when we get thrown or hit, right? So then this also offers from this side or this original spot, like different ways that we can potentially trajectory edge cancel. I'll get rid of this one just so it's clearer. But like you can
so in the same way as DI, it's about putting us in the best possible position, right?
Think of it as a setup for DI.
Yeah, it's a setup to get good DI or like into a place where you can DI, like you can end the combo with DI, for example.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's a moment from Smash Factor that I want to pull up because I think that like it shows a good example of how you can use this really, really effectively. It's from Hacks versus Hungry Box. And I think it was on Fountain of Dreams. I'm pretty sure it was winners or grands. Let me just see if I can find it real quick.
Shopify's point,
because it was really good. It was like some of the best defense I've seen in a long. Like it was like really, really clutch defense in a really key moment. Let's see here. What do we got here? So, I need you to get up thrown onto the platform. Okay, it's on here. What happened here? Okay, so you didn't get up thrown. Cool. I think it's this stock. Okay, I know it was an up throw into something. Okay, not here. Okay. So it must have been either the first stock or in grand. Let's see what happens here. But you'll like a lot of the times I think the common wisdom of this matchup is like DI away from Jigglypuff basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't this stock. So it must have been either the first stock. Okay, let's see if I got this right. Yep, this one.
Whoa.
There we go. I knew it was here somewhere. So let's watch that slowly. So, this is really good by hacks for a bunch of reasons. So, first and foremost, he's aware that he doesn't actually have to DI to the side versus Jigglypuff. By doing this DI, he warps onto the top platform, and Jigglypuff is still in her throw. So this is already very good because he means he's not going to die immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So then, to follow this up, he chooses to, like, get up in place, which is very difficult. I don't think that it's possible for her to, like, hit the rest on him in that position. Either that, or he either has to, like, full-on guess, but even then I don't think he gets it. So then, by doing this here, he's able to, with one smash DI input, or two, I think he gets one or two, he's able to then slide off DI on that up air to get out of the combo completely. So he used his bias on the platform, like the fact that he's slightly to the right, and the fact that there were constraints on Jigglypuff's like position with when she like hit him, like at the percent that he got hit at, to basically create like a freeway out of this situation. By addressing the one hit, like the only, like, because it doesn't matter what hit Hungrybox does here at all, and I think that's the really impressive part, because I don't think that like her other aerials knock him over at this point, because he was at like 38 going into it. Okay, so her back air might. Okay, fair enough.
It does definitely,
yeah. But like. With ASDI down, like, it's not going, like, there's no universe in which her back air doesn't create slide off. She'd have to hit him the literal other way, right? And he can see how she's moving in relation to him. Like, the fact that she's kind of, like, here? I guess he could make it, like, awkward with, like, by back airing him this way. That would actually be a pretty sick play. But knowing that he's closer a bit to this side, like if she hits him this way, he gets out every time. If she up airs him this way, he gets out every time. The only thing that she has that like deals with this DI is back airing him towards the this side of the platform, but that's really awkward because of his positioning. Like normally that's if he does like any other kind of like standard DI, like the holding down to survive the rest thing, that becomes like an atrocious play. So it covers everything except one play, basically. Which I find is just like super impressive. And then he gets a free counterattack for it. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
So, and you can see how like it's the tech, like how, I know that was not a tech roll, but like that's kind of what I mean about like how the tech like informs our decision-making process. Like where we decide to like, because what techs are really is they are a decision as to like where the combo ends, or sorry, where the
combo goes.
Yeah, where the combo begins. Sorry, yeah. And like they also provide restrictions on what the combo starts with. So tech rolls are actually one of the most powerful tools you have in your defensive toolbox. Mm-hmm. I would say that like one of the most useful things you can probably do is just get better at using them.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up today. Because I know, and it feels very, very powerful when I play against good players. It's like, oh, it's impossible to catch this guy.
Yeah. So why don't we play some matches, and then I think the priority will be is like just what tech roll gives us the maximum distance from the opponent, and then like
Okay.
we're gonna play to that. If it's more than tech rolling through them, then we're gonna try to play to that more.
Okay.
And anticipate how the opponent might be like countering that in advance, because yeah, and we'll just kind of see what like how we can limit the opponent's like follow-up options a little bit more by doing that. We'll see how it goes. Let me know when you're in a match, by the way, because I've been having problems with Slippy playbacks. I just want to make sure that's like working properly.
I'll tell you, I'm broadcasting.
Okay.
Hopping in.
Cool.
Just searching.
Okay. I would say that that spot right underneath the interior edge of the side platform is also just generally a very good spot to tech roll to.
Yeah.
Because you have access to the platform if you want it or don't want it. You're close to the
here
edge.
We go.
Okay, cool. Alright, I can see you. Oh, what a nice guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
We all play for the reasons we play. If he doesn't want to take that kill, it's his call. See how he didn't actually get that follow-up? He was slightly late and we went for like down tilt. Let's go for faster options on wake up. We're gonna go for like our fastest options on wake up. So jump, shine, and spot dodge, and we're gonna like tech roll away from him. We're gonna try to just make his like up smash difficult to hit for his tech chase at this high percent.
It's just on me to hit these techs.
That's all good. Fox did it was a hard one for this.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything happened so fast. Your offense has gotten so much better though. Like your offense and neutral are like way improved from like when we started. Defense is always the hardest part of this game.
Yeah, it's always been what I'm worst at.
And that just means you're normal. Nothing wrong with being normal.
Yeah.
Honestly, the fact that you're getting these like trajectory edge cancels on his like up smashes and stuff is like totally fine. Like that's like even better than anything I've suggested. Let's try not to jump there. If we don't have to jump, let's not do it. Let's try to like land with lasers or something.
Yeah.
If we see him coming up, we can act. But yeah, if he's just like hanging out below us, and if he's just like basically messing around or like spacing, then we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to find someone else.
Sure.
Hopefully a character like Martha or Falcon or Sheik.
Yeah, one of the
would
ones
be
that
best, I think.
Well, I think Falcon and Sheik we want to prioritize. Yeah. Those are the
definitely for sure.
Yoshi, I think, would also work just because I feel he has got a similar dynamic with his fair.
Yeah,
it's also like a powerful like kind of hard covers certain things. Nice. Don't be afraid to use your double jump on those edge guards.
Yeah.
even with no tech, try to like move into that difficult to like. Try to move into that like right underneath the interior side platform, like the front of the interior side platform.
Like here?
Yeah, we're gonna roll. Even with no tech, we're gonna move there more.
Okay. Got the slide off.
Mm-hmm.
Wait on the uppies, so. Yep. Oof.
Ooh. This guy's probably so mad right now. He's just like, how did I lose that one first? Nice. No, I saw that you went for the trajectory edge cancel. That was a good idea. It's like DI was like slightly off. I don't know if he could have gotten that one, but that one, it was a good attempt. Right idea. See, it's awkward. Like, because the thing is, they don't want you to like. Think about like how Marth players will like. Think about how Marth players can kind of throw you around a bit before they like go for the up throw. A lot of times they're just trying to get you out of that spot.
Yeah.
Like, one of the crazy things about, like, one of the best things about Sheik and Falcon as characters is that they just don't really care, like, where their combo starts for the most part. Because they're just, like, they can just, like, do their kill move on the ground, basically. Or they're, like, or they have, like, so much redundancy with their setup move that it doesn't really matter. If you want to beat this guy in the run back, that's fine.
Yeah. I'll just do it quick.
And if he impresses us by beating us, then we can stay and play him a bit. Then he's, you know, because at that point, he's proven.
I know who this guy is. He's not a Fox man.
Oh.
He's a really technical Samus man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know what? I feel like Sprack is a name I've seen before.
Sprack, yeah. He's Swedish.
That would do it.
It was him and Daddy in Stockholm.
You know what? That would make sense, because, like, has he been power ranked?
He definitely. He's been Sweden power rank.
I probably saw him on a power ranking like post at some point, and then it's like, yeah. That's how I know the name.
He's a beast.
You could take him.
Definitely.
Because you are also a beast. If he goes Samus in the next game, do we stay? I think that Samus works for this, because I think that she's got a similar
I think
dynamic.
Samus works better.
Yeah. I feel like on Samus, her no tech is like tech roll in and tech in place, because of how where her down smash covers.
Yeah.
And where her down air covers.
Hey, didn't switch.
I think we'll try him one more time. We can still like practice defense on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that spot under the side platform, it feels strong, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, look, like they don't know what to do. Yeah, the side platform spots like that under the side platform are some of like the classic power positions for defense. I feel like so much work just goes into like just playing that position correctly. Because even if they can do the back throw tech chase, you still are forcing them to like tech chase instead of just like murdering you.
Yeah. This kind of became the offense show.
Yeah, we'll give him
Go
one
Sam.
more.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll
I'll
give him...
leave after this one.
Nah, let's leave now. He just threw himself off. Like, enough of this.
Yeah. What are you doing this, man?
I mean, he's to be fair, he probably just wants to play his fox. Oh, there we go. Did you like emote him after?
The Sprak?
Yeah. Is this somebody else or?
This is somebody else.
That's funny. How did we get like?
I don't know how he got Samus.
Yeah, see, like, tech roll away because of her down smash, like, where her down smash, her down tilt, and other things cover, she has to, like, hard read it, basically.
Yeah. What can she even do? Like, dash attack at 100%?
Grab. Dash grab. Her dash grab is faster than her, like, standing grab.
Yeah. Yeah, normal grab you can just jump over.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, so... in that situation, what she would do is she'd basically forego down smashing and then just kind of like do it like an RTC with like dash attack.
Oh.
Oh, connection thing?
Looks like it. Jeez. Disconnected.
They did not like getting mauled.
No, that was a connection thing, I think.
Probably.
It seemed like it because they stayed in. Usually when people rage quit, they don't stay in the match.
True. True.
Let's see. Hopefully, I really want to get Sheik. I think that's important.
I think you're starting to... I think even just with what we've had so far, though, you're starting to see some of, like, the points that we talked about, though.
Yeah.
But, like, knowing... like, that tech roll just... that tech roll unironically saved your life versus that Samus.
Yeah, that was... that I probably would have teched in place if it wasn't for us talking about it.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's value in staying alive. It's not terribly insightful, but...
No, but there is. Like, staying alive is better than killing, you know?
It is the most impactful
Generally.
thing you can possibly do, yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Oh, we've got a Sheik. Let's go. So, ambiguous DI. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that you started on the slower timings with tech roll, and then you switched to like the tech in place. I find that's like generally a good way to do it, and kind of gives you a lot of control over how you like move the opponent to like move into like the trajectory edge cancel positions.
Yeah.
Nice. Gotta be ready for those. Because the Amsa tech should never get Sheik out there versus Fox that's ready. So you just basically do your back air more in place below her. Or land on the platform and up smash her after, that's fine too. My rule
How am I alive?
I don't know. My rule of thumb with Sheik is if I have to wave dash out of shield to get her, I probably can't get her.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, don't ever do it. It's just that, like, I think it's important to recognize that a lot of the things we do, and, like, when we wave dash out of shield on Sheik, on grounded Sheik, a lot of it isn't going to be real.
Down smash is real though, right?
Oh, yeah. Down.
Yeah.
I mean more like when when we're like. I mean more when we're like shielding in front of her tech and she rolls through us or something.
Oh yeah.
Like stuff like that, or like she's just like hit our shield with like an aerial, like even a high, like even like a mid-height aerial, or like a hit the top of our shield but she's falling aerial, that kind of thing. Like if we have to wave dash out a shield, a lot of times it's just not going to be real because her like things hit on 5, and our wave dash doesn't finish until 13.
Yep.
Nice use of Wispy.
Yeah, I saw Wispy start blowing. I was like, okay, you're not gonna grab this one.
Yeah.
If you did, I would have been very impressed.
If they got that grab, I would have been like, okay, so like they had a good reaction and hit the 3-frame boost grab. Like, what a G. The Sheik has a future. The Sheik has a very bright future. Because that would have been like, yeah, that would have been like, that's a difficult one to hit.
Okay, then we tech roll.
And you'll notice that, like, with Sheik, you can kind of, by tech rolling, you kind of take a lot of the teeth out of her reads.
Yeah. She can't up smash, she can't.
Like, she can, but she's, like, she's only covering one option at that point. Because tech, when she up smashes in place, she's technically covering 2, because she's also covering no tech.
Yeah.
I think one of the most annoying things Ryan Ford ever did, like when I was playing him in like tournament all the time, was he'd have like days or like tournaments where he didn't care about the outcome and all he would do is tech roll, and then like as soon as it came down like came time for like actual tournament practice or like the big event, he would just start like execution testing on tech in place, and I was just like, ugh. I'm like, that cross tournament conditioning, I see. This is before Uncle Punch and stuff, so like we actually just had to play against good people, and it's just pain in the ass.
When was the Sheik RTC invented?
We've always kind of known about it. Like even back in the day, I kind of like could do it. It's just that like we didn't realize the degree to which it was reactable. I would say it was more that it was discovered as opposed to invented. Or harnessed as opposed to invented. I would say around 2015, though, is when we kind of, like, became aware that, like, hey, you can just actually just delete people with this.
Yeah. Around when Plot switched to Sheik.
Yeah.
Grab me, come on. Guess I gotta grab you first. Remind you that it's an option.
Mm-hmm. Whenever Sheik is above the ledge like that, like, is directly above the ledge, just grab the edge.
Yeah.
This Sheik good? Like, do you know who this is, or?
No idea. I don't know, just keeps not grabbing. Which is not something I get.
Well, I mean, like, to be fair, you've been defending really well against the grabs.
Yeah, maybe.
So, like, I feel like they were grabbing a lot the first game. Kaboom. So, like, let's think about... So, tech rolls against, like, hits instead of grabs.
Yeah. I mean, hits lead to tech chases, too. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That should be game. Oh,
That was
got
that's a
fancy. I
bit
thought you could just.
fancy.
I thought you were just gonna up smash her.
No, I got fancy. I always do.
It's
It's
okay. It's a friendly.
yeah.
And if you want to get and you know what, if being fancy is your ambition in this game, like far be it from me to tell you that. Far be it from me to tell you that like you're wrong to do it. That was disgusting. That was so good. Everything there was just like dynamite.
Yeah, man. I didn't want to tech roll out because I was really close to edge.
Yeah, no, I think that makes perfect sense. I think that like you had a good position. I would have considered going towards the edge there for the trajectory edge. It's along the next down throw, but like on the first stock, everything up to like basically the second grab that they got, zero feedback. Like everything looked phenomenal.
Come and get me. Come and get me. Look, I'm throwing out things. Come and get me.
You should go for CC jab. A lot of times, like you're hitting them out of the air with your shine timing is so fast that you're like hitting them out of the air when you do go for like CC shines. But if you CC jab them in those spots, then like you'll just get like a pop up like that exactly.
Huh? That's smart.
It's a Leffen thing.
That is a Leffen thing, actually. Yeah, you're right. 1, 2, yes.
I hear that like Sunsei got mad about us like exposing his like
what?
his single hit down air tech chase from that Fox
really
video. Yeah, somebody like another Fox player I coached was just like I was talking with them like during the session or afterwards, I forget which, and they were just like Sunsei was commenting about like how he like put a lot of effort into that and he was really excited and he thought he could get like another like more mild, they would go undiscovered for a little bit longer, and he's like 15 minutes into the analysis KirbyKaze points it out and I'm just like, and I'm like silly Miles thinking I wouldn't catch that. You should know better than that. But apparently he was really upset. He was just like, I put like a month of effort into like making that. And I was just like, that sounds like something you do. Something I do.
It's funny how you just instantly expose it.
Yeah, well, it was a good strategy. I was like, oh wow, that looks really good and really intentional. And then he did it a second time. I'm like, okay, so now I know it's intentional. Now why is he doing it? Because I can tell it's good, but why is it good? Like, my goodness sense is tingling.
Okay, there he goes.
How does that feel compared to how you normally fight Sheik? I know that we're just kind of like we're goofing off a little bit. We're not probably playing like super seriously, but how did that feel in terms of the defense? Like, just did it feel?
It felt. I mean, I was getting away. I feel like I was more intentionally like getting out of the grabs, but
that's one habit I'm noticing with you is get up attack.
oh yeah.
Let's try to not get up attack so much. I feel like that's probably from like a wow. This guy
do a little shine or a little jump or something.
Yeah, this
This
Fox
is probably someone good.
This Fox is really good. Wow, I don't know who they are, but
Might just be Kingu.
Kingu.
Yeah, Kingu. No, it's how. It's a British Fox. He's playing good.
He is playing good.
Yep. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
We can bring this back. If
I
we
have
want to.
center.
Nice.
Ooh. That F tilt was a dash attack.
That's okay. So there are no dash attacks, just happy accidents. Nice smash DI. Ooh.
Yeah.
So let's talk for a bit. Let's.
Yeah.
So what part of this do you think is like? So I think that we're seeing some returns on this. Like there's definitely more intention in terms of defense. What do you think? What's something that's not clicking though? Like what's something that if you had to pick out something that's working for you and something that's not working for you, what would those things be?
From right now?
Yeah.
I think the positioning stuff was like something is not that in yet. Like I still like tech into vulnerable worse positions.
Sure. And I mean
Especially
like
versus Fox. I feel like that's hard to
Fox is
do anything
probably the
about.
hardest character in the game to defend against. So I
Yeah.
think that we can kind of like assume that like he's going to be a little bit more challenging in certain respects. Like when we started this, we weren't really even like thinking about him specifically. He's just kind of come up as he is often wont to do. I guess the one the what I'm thinking more along the lines of is what part of this do you think, like, what part, like, what general like, what are the big picture things? Or, like, what are the, like, what parts of this system, like, basically being more intentional about tech rolling, using it to deny the opponent's, like, most powerful combo starters, or forcing them to guess with them more. What, do you think that concept is, like, fairly, does that more or less make sense at this point?
That makes sense. Definitely making Sheik have to be aware and use like grab or dash attack rather than getting an opening off F tilt or up smash especially.
So tech rolls force opponents to RTC or gas. So I think that's like that's a big thing. No, I think that's like a big thing. The other thing that I would say that's important about them for appreciation is tech rolls let us move where the combo takes place, where the combo starts. So tech rolls let us move. Yeah, move where the punish takes place.
Yeah.
And I think that you can see like how that impacts like with trajectory edge cancels, with generally like good defensive spots like the under the interior side of the side platform.
Yeah.
It just gives you a lot of different spots that you can go that are relevant to defending and staying alive. Last thing I would say about tech rolls is that tech rolls also restrict what the opponent can hit us with. And sometimes they create enough distance that they just get us out of the combo. Now, we didn't really see any examples of that there, although we kind of did sort of with the Samus, right? Like, there isn't anything good that Samus can hit us with there with an RTC other than grab. And even then, she's more likely to, at that 110 or 120 we were at, she's more likely to dash attack, which doesn't kill us if we DI in. So I think that those three things are the main things that like I think are important to take away from tech rolling here, and in terms of how you like enhance your defensive game, because that I think like it creates the opportunities for us to DI effectively, and I think that as a concept is very important.
Oh yeah, I have been thinking about that with Marth, just trying to get into to center so he can get me up rather
Yeah.
than getting me off stage. And same with Peach, just like not being afraid to like tech roll in on the platform and taking the up air rather than like letting them get the nair, you know?
Exactly. So I think that with this, I'm going to leave you to like explore this concept further. But I think
Mhm.
that here, I think that the main thing, like, I think that the part that's going to be difficult is going to be breaking the habit of get up attack. I think that get up attack is because you can do all these things with no tech as well. And the
Mhm.
advantage of no tech is that it is 5 frames slower than a tech, like it is 5 frames faster than a tech roll. So it finishes on 35, whereas a tech roll finishes on 40. So I'm going to challenge you to think about to think about whether or not we can actually tech and get the shine in some of the positions we're hit in. And if we can't, like if we're gonna get the hit and we're gonna get knocked over one way or another, then try not to like input anything. Try to just
Mhm.
get your DI input ready, especially if you know you're locked out from attack. So if you've wave dashed recently, if you
Yeah.
have like if you've like done if you've done attack recently, because I think that will help you further. But yeah, I'd say the biggest takeaway is just continue doing what you're doing. Continue working with tech roll as positional no as positional defense. And then the other thing is try to break habit of get up attack on no tech, and bracket when hitting ground be more no do not in no focus more on the DI as opposed to trying to get a shine or attack input through. Because I think that those two things will help you a lot. Like, I think the second one I think will be tough, but worthwhile if you can do it. Does that make sense, or do I sound crazy?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay. Will you be okay from here? Can I let you go? Or is there anything you need from
Yeah,
me in the
I
meantime?
think so. Let me read your key takeaways. Tech loss position and defense. Yeah. Uh, focus more on DI on the next hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something that definitely I tend to I get into these the vortex a bit where I just miss tech and then I try to do something and I miss tech and then it just keeps keep getting hit.
I would say passive options like buffer jump can
Yeah.
actually be really good in those kinds of situations because
Mhm.
they don't use up your attack input. I don't think they use up your attack input in the same way. So you can like get up and then like get ready for buffer jump without you needing to like time the wake up shine, and I think that's like usually where a lot of like things go wrong. Whereas
Yeah. Yes.
so with that, I will leave it to it. As with
Thank
all
you.
things, if you need any like follow up, let me know, and it's great to have you back. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. See you soon.
All right,
Thanks.
take
Bye.
care, Rich.